Question number 8, Mr Speaker.
Minister Justin Tomlinson.
Mr Speaker, with permission, I'd like to answer this with question 19. Household incomes have never been higher. In 2016-17, there were 1 million fewer people living in absolute poverty than in 2010. And in Scotland, whichever way you look at poverty, relative, absolute, before or after housing costs, in 3 years to 2016-17, no measures are higher than in the 3 years to 09-10. In fact, 3 are lower.
Brendan O'Hara.
Mr Speaker, a few weeks ago, a young family with a newborn baby appeared at my constituency office door in Helensburgh. They were halfway through their 4-week universal credit assessment period. This was a family in crisis. They were penniless. The father hadn't eaten for 3 days, and they didn't even have enough money to buy baby milk and had been refused Healthy Start vouchers because they ticked the wrong box. Isn't this the reality of poverty recreated by this government?
I'm sorry to hear about those circumstances of that case, and I'm happy to look into that further. One of the recent announcements we've made is that there will be citizen advice support within every job centre from April onwards, and that's the sort of case where they can step in and provide independent supportive advice to make sure they get the full entitlement that they are entitled to.
Drew Hendry.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Be it universal credit, the benefit freeze or Brexit, the poor are being hit the hardest at the moment. Yet, according to research from the Resolution Foundation, overall tax and benefit changes will take £100 from those families in the bottom fifth of income distribution and give £280 to those in the top 10. Does the Minister think that's fair?
Well, this is not something I recognise. Through the additional money being put into universal credit, record employment, the changes to the income tax personal threshold and rising wages, the poorest fifth in society in real terms are now £400 better off than in 2010.
Stephen Kerr.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Does the Minister agree that with employment at record levels and with wages now rising in real terms, that the best approach to helping people out of poverty is the one this government is delivering?
My honourable friend is absolutely spot on. There is only a 5% of a child being in poverty if both parents work full-time, against 63% for families where there is only part-time work, which is why our delivering record employment in all regions in the UK is making a real difference.
Margaret Greenwood.
Next year, the benefits freeze will leave the poorest 20% of families with children £900 worse off on average. In January, the Secretary of State said that the benefits freeze was the right policy at the time, but both she and the Chancellor have signalled it isn't going to be renewed in 2020. If it isn't the right policy now, why is the government continuing with the freeze for another year?
Well, the honourable member again continues to object to any measures to restore fairness into the benefit system. Under the last Labour government, we saw welfare spending increase by £84 billion, an additional tax burden of £3,000 per hard-working household. It's about fairness, it's about supporting people whilst having a good safety net for those that most in need.